Over to
Thank you.
you.
Hi, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. I don't know if you attend a workshop I delivered before, but I am very, very needy. So I might ask you every now and then to send me like a thumbs up or a wave or any kind of emoji. So if it's all right with you guys, let's test it to see that you hear me. That's start of my neediness. So if you can hear me, just give me like a thumb up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. 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 Thank you, guys. So, welcome everyone, and welcome again uh, for the session. Thank you for the thumbs up. And as you know, some of the like housekeeping. Please mute your microphones until asked to unmute. Please use the Zoom chat if you have any questions or make any comments. And if you drop off of the call, just join in again. If if it looks a bit weird, my face, because I have another screen, so I might look like that. I'm just giving you like a heads up. So for those who don't know me, I don't know if you can see me. I don't know which slide is working on now. I have like a bag of a lag. Can you see?
We're on the ideas into
No,
action slide.
no Fuad, yeah.
Wait. Now,
Nothing.
nothing.
Yeah,
Wait.
only the ideas into action.
Okay. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah, that changed.
Perfect. That's good to know. So again, guys, for those who don't know me, my name is Fuad. I'm the founder of Shift Up. Last year, I think around this time, I was in your place, having taken the same workshop, and now I'm going to deliver this workshop. I'm going to share with you some of the tips I found helpful, and I hope you find it helpful yourself. So today's session is about financial planning. What is financial planning? What is the term financial planning tool, and why it's important? And that's basically what we are going to focus on. What we are going to go today at the start, what is financial planning and why it matters? Financial planning tool demo, activities in breakout, personal necessity budget. We will have a break. We will talk about startup budget and tracking your expenses. We'll go for activity in breakout again, and we'll talk about what's next. So today we are going to work on your personal budget, startup budget, and understand tracking expenses. Okay? It will be fun. I almost promise it will be fun. So your business finance might feel like this now, but it doesn't have to be. Can you see the photo of the man like standing on the wall, hitting his head? However, it can like if you start early, it can be a really easy process and enjoyable. It can help you to run a successful business, and knowing where your money is coming from and what you are spending is really important. But it actually can be relaxing if you get it right from the beginning. Why financial plan? First of all, you need clear numbers. How much does it cost to run your social startup? And more details you put into the cost, the more accurate you will go. Financial planning makes or breaks the business. Sometimes if you miss some of the expenses or miss some of the right amount of money you need to pay for some of the stuff in the budget, it can actually make it like it will make it a bit harder. However, like that's why we are having the tool and that's why we are having the session today. Funders and partners, that's really important, want to see your financial plan, want to see how you spend your money, what you are going to use your grant for, if you are using a grant, and how that will go. So who will look at your financial plans? Your team, accountant, and lenders, funders, and partners. It might be all of them, it might be like some of them, but like it depends on your case. Most likely your team and accountant, funders, lenders, and partners will need to know or want to know about your financial plans. There's like 4 steps for financial planning: startup and personal budget, grant project and budget, account and expenses, sales, pricing, and forecasting. Having a good financial plan can get you in a great shape for grants and for delivery of projects. It can be the difference between running a successful organization or not. On financial workshop, now we are splitting this workshop, or like the coming workshop, or like, sorry, we are splitting the financial planning into 2 workshops. It's because we need to decide where are you going to be focusing on. And that depends on your business model. Not everyone is going to do both of these, sales pricing and like grant project budgets. Some of you will do just project budget and grant. Some of you might use just sales, pricing, and forecasting, and some of you might use both. We will look at grants and budget next time on the next workshop, and we will look at the pricing, sales, and forecasting in between if it's relevant for you. That depends. Are your business model relies on grants? In this case, you will be using grants and project budgets. Are you using like sales? You have a product you actually want to sell, or are you both? It depends on what's your plan. Today, we will look at these 3 areas: personal necessity budget, startup or project budget, tracking your expenses. For startup project budget, you will identify your one-off costs and recurring costs. We will talk about that in detail soon. We will talk about your personal necessity budget, and we are going to talk about soon. We're talking in details about how much money you need to yourself personally need to live with, and how much you will pay yourself. And we will talk about that in details, and we will be tracking your expenses. We'll talk about how you track your expenses, understand why it's important to start tracking your expenses and keeping your receipts. I cannot stress this enough, even before to go to this. Keep your receipts. So it's like a little bit too early, so it's really important. So turn financial planning and accounting tools. There are currently 7 tabs in the financial planning tool. We will talk about 1, 2, and 3. Personal budget, startup budget. The third one, it's not the number 3. We are going to talk about accounting tracker, which is number 6. We'll explain about when we will fill out the rest of this sheet, but for now, we will need to worry about just these 3: personal budget, startup budget, and accounting tracker. Is it? Yeah, that's what, when you can find this tool, it's in your Google Drive. And we are now going to go to talk about the first one, which is the personal budget, number one on the tool, which is like you will find it at the tab number one. It looks like this. We are going actually to talk about personal budget, necessity budget, and we will talk about how your personal expenses, or how to put your personal expenses, and how we can work out this tool. As you will see soon, this part of this tool will help you put down every expense you have, and the tool will sum it up for you to have like monthly the money you need to have, and the yearly it will calculate that for you. It will help you to do that. And I think it's time to show you actually how it works. How do you think of that, Lucas?
Sounds good. I think dive into the demo.
So you guys are taking me a little bit time to sign in.
Just while we're waiting, can people try that link in the chat and see if that gets you to your financial planning tool or not? And just tell me yes or no. No? Okay. Yes for some. All right. No. Okay, I'm going to just try another thing while Fuad's loading that.
Thank you. Can you see it, guys?
Yeah, we can see it. Maybe zoom in a little bit, Fuad.
Perfect.
Yeah, this link may be better for everyone. I'm just checking.
Can you see it better now, guys? Can you all see it?
Yeah, try this.
Perfect.
Just to say before you start, try this new link as well, guys. If that doesn't work, just let me know and I can send it to you directly, but that one should work.
Perfect. Guys, if it works, please send me a thumbs up again. I told you I'm ready from the beginning, so just give me a thumbs up. Virtual, actual, whatever you want. So if it's working, perfect. So I think I will do the demo. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see my mouse very well. Can you see the tabs at the down side in here? This is the tabs where you can use this tool. Now we are going to work on the personal budget. I clicked on that, and before I will zoom in a second. I just want to show you how it looks like in general. Like, this is how it will look like. I already start to fill some of the stuff for you just to make it faster. And now I will go zoom in again. So it's literally trying to put down each of your expenses on the tool. We have like term prepared so many lines already, so you can fill this just to remind you what kind of stuff that out there. So let's say the rent and mortgage is like 1,500, 1,500 pounds, or let's say it's like, I'll change it now to 500. I know that's like not possible, but like just for sake of trying. So if I put here 500, if you can see, I just put enter and they will change the yearly cost immediately next to it. So this is just like random numbers I put for the staff. I start with like rent or mortgage. It depends on what you're working on, council tax, electricity and gas. This is how detailed we are going to do. And actually, it's like from my side, I want to tell you that because I put in my own personal one very precise budget, it makes it easier for me to know exactly the spending and how much money I need to have in order to get like a good quality, a good life quality for me, because it's different for everyone. So as you can see, there is like electricity, gas, loan, repayment, mobile phone, broadband, public transportation, entertainment and holiday. It's literally almost everything. And if there is some lines you want to put in, for example, can you see here? There is like under car parking or money put into saving. This is all like hypothetical number, as I said. There is like other expenses. So you can actually, I'm sharing with you what I've done because I have so many subscriptions. So I have a line called subscriptions. It's like Amazon, Disney, Netflix. So it's like you have to put something of the stuff you put in here, and it will show me how exactly the money it will show yearly. So this one, the yellow one, show you monthly, and the blue one is going to show you how yearly. And the tool itself would help you put in details, like to sum it up. So the total expenses, in this case, it's 2,607 pounds. Yearly, that means like 31,000 expenses. Does that make sense? Can you follow me and follow the tool? Perfect. Give me thumbs up. Sorry. So this is the part where you put your personal expenses in. And the second part down, talking about the income. Let's say you have a part-time job that gives you, let's say, like, I don't know, 1,000 pounds monthly. In that case, that means like 12,000 pounds yearly. Maybe you do receive benefits, so you put benefits. Maybe you want to you want to use your own personal savings, so you put how you want to put monthly. And here you put your salary from the business. We are going to talk about that in detail soon. In this case, just like for the sake of this example, if you go down, they will show me based on my expenses, I am 1,607 pounds, how can I say, in debt, which means like I need 1,600 pound income in order to cover my necessity baseline, or how much money I need. So let's say now you got like a 3-time job, which like, I don't know, let's say 1,800, which mean you need 807 pounds. In order to get your basic needs, let's say if you want to get like, you don't want to go in debt and you want to have all your expenses, you put your salary in here. If you can, it will be like, let's say 800 monthly from your business, the business you are working on right now. That will make it minus 7 pounds. Does that make sense, guys? The example. Please, if you have any questions, write it down or let me know, and I will just re-share what we said. So to go again, what you are going to do now, you will go for your own tool, write down your expenses, and the tool will sum it up for you. Then you write down your personal income, and the tool will show you how much money you need to go for zero, or if you want to make a profit. Let's say, for example, I got to get really lucky and I got like 1,500 from my business. That means I'm making 600 or around 700 pounds as a profit monthly. Does that make sense? It's literally make you aware of how much you are spending now and how big is your income and what you need to do about it. So the first step is knowing where you are before you go for the future steps. Is that all right? Perfect. Thank you for the thumbs up and thank you for shaking heads. So I'm going to reshare the other. I will go back to the presentation. Please let me know if you can see it. Perfect. So we have a great facilitator will be with you today, doing on the working with you on this part of the first breakout. We have Vijay Saholo, Aruba, Lucas, Zainab, and Diana. We have wonderful facilitators to be with you on the breakout rooms. You will have 35 minutes to start to draft your personal necessity budget. And please don't hesitate to ask facilitator about anything in the tool. Are you ready to go for the breakout rooms? Just give me a thumbs up, smile, anything. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like in person. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Fuad. You're doing so great.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, opening up now. Fuad, just give me 1 sec.
Okay, guys, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Perfect. So
No, we can see. Take a break. Oh, yeah.
So as we said, financial stability can actually take time. That's why we started with knowing your own essential and what you need for yourself to cover your needs in order to know what is the minimum you need from your business, and then it can grows up. And hopefully you will have a great savings and great profit in the future. We'll talk about that in a minute. As you know, we have currently we have 7 tabs in financial planning tool. They are going to be looking on, as I said, personal budget, startup budget, and accounting tracker. We will explain each one of them where we're going to do that. Today, we just focus about personal budgeting, startup budget, and accounting tracker. Now we are going to go for the startup budget. Does that look scary? It's basically how you are going to start your own startup budget, which is in tab 2 in your financial planning. We're going to talk about one-off costs and running costs. But we will talk about that in a minute. Can you see that? Perfect. I will show you now in details. If you can see in the first part, it's one-time cost stuff. So if you have a project for 1 year, you will put the things you will pay just once in 1 year. And I will give you an example of that soon. So for example, if like you're doing like a coffee shop, let's say you need to buy a coffee machine or to rent a coffee machine or buy like 50 kilograms of coffee for 1 year. So that's called like one-time cost. It's like things and services you need to start your business and you pay it only once at the beginning. The recurring startup project costs, it's for stuff you actually do as a subscription monthly. And you will going to decide which stuff you will put, and I will show you in a minute how we can do that. The tool will give you will sum up the one-time cost with the recurring cost based on the amount you decide the length of the project. And that will give you like what it's called total startup project cost. How much money you need to do your project, including everything, the one-time cost and the recurring costs. And now, again, I'm going to share with you I will going to show you one of the examples for one of my workshops, because if you know Shift Up business, my business is about delivering workshops, part of it to deliver workshops for organization staff about understanding lived experience. So it's basically delivering workshops. And now, give me 1 second to share with you guys the tool again. Okay. Can you see the screen? Perfect. So this is like personal budget. We said this is like tab 1. I will go to startup and project budget, which is tab 2. I will zoom out a little bit to see how it looks like. This is how it actually looks like. And I will give you I will put for you some of the examples. I will start with the one-time cost, which is like the red one in here. Is it easy for you to read? Is it can you see it? Perfect. So it's actually, you put on if you can see number 1 in here, it's actually category, which means what kind of the cost, what kind of category. And if you press in here, you can see a list of so many stuff. Rent, one-off payment, services, products. And then you name the project, you write the name yourself, number needed, price per item, and the tool will sum it up for you in this one, in number 5. And you will write or will insert a link for the supplier. So I'm giving you an example for some of the stuff I'm writing as an organization that delivered training. So for the one-time cost, for let's say for 1 year, or for in this case, I make it as 1 year. So I need a projector with like second-hand projector. That will cost me around 300 if it's going to be like really, really good projector. And I put each kind of expenses I might need in this. So I try to include as many stuff as I know. So you can see a projector, registration for the business, A4 colored, markers, whiteboard markers, flip chart, website, email, because you need these services. And if you can see next to it, I write like service, and the rest are products. And the second one is like called license. And I have some stationery, like pens and like different kind of pens, which can cover me for 1 year. So, and here I write, like, if you can see in here, A4 colored, I need 5 packs, which means each of them is like £5, which they sum it up for me and make it 25. and the provider in this case will be Amazon. You don't like, it depends on each one business. You can put what you need inside in here. And if you go down, sorry, that's too fast. If you can go down in here, you will see the one time they will sum it up for you. And the one-time startup cost will give you like the total amount. In this case, it's 666.65. And I will go now for the other part. This is the one-time cost. This is the recurring startup project cost, which means it's coming every month. You have to pay it every month. If you notice in here, let's ignore it for a little bit, is the founder salary, which like your own salary you will put. I'll ignore it for a second, and I will talk about the rest of the stuff. So I have liability insurance. I think I missed some of the letters in here. So it's like about 12 months a month, and they sum it up in here. Before I start, sorry, because I said at the beginning, you either set it for 1 year or 6 months. You're able to do the whole project. So you change the number in here. Can you see this number, the 12? If you change it in here, it's automatically will change all the months down at the column number 4. So if, let's say, your project is going to go for 6 months, not 66 months, and you press enter, it will change the whole thing, the whole number of the months, or 6 months. Does that make sense? Just to make it easier for you to know, it depends on how you will plan your project. So in this case, I will put 12, which is 1 year. And I start to put like liability insurance. And as I said, I need photographer every now and then. I counted, it's like I needed just twice in the whole year. So I changed the 12 into number 2. TFL is actually the travel linked to the businesses. I put how much I will travel using TFL. If you use your car, you can put like fuel, insurance. It works on that. There is lunch for a full day training. When I'm delivering a full day training, I do lunch. And if you can see the category in here, it's called the deductible meals. It's something you can put. And I put gas and electricity. Why I put that, it's just like, as I'm working from home, if you ask an accountant, there is a limit, there is like a number of your personal expenses you can put as work expenses. It's always good, we'll talk about that, to ask an accountant about this. And if you can see, I write these down, they sum it up for me, and that will cost 4,460 for the whole year. However, why I asked you to leave the founder, because based on your personal expenses, that will be a little bit tricky. Based on your personal expenses, if I can see my personal expenses I need at the beginning of my work, I need to pay myself just £200 a month to cover my basic needs. It's enough somehow to start your business at the minimum you can go for. That's why we said stability can take time. So whenever you grow your business, you raise your salary, the founder salary. I start here because I work 2 days a week, or like in total by month, 6 days. So I give myself £300 a month. And that's why my total cost will be, as you can see at the top of this, £5,126. In this part, they sum up the one-time costs and the recurring costs, which mean everything you have to pay for the first year. Does that make sense? Please give me some thumbs up or anything. Yeah, perfect. And why I'm saying that it's important, because let's say you don't need the money to cover your personal expenses or the minimum of that. So you can actually start the whole business if I don't need the money at the beginning. It might not be the case, but it's changed from 5,000 to 1,526 to start your project. That without paying yourself. And that shouldn't be the case. You should pay yourself when you can. You know what I mean? As a founder, you need to pay yourself, even if you're doing a charity or a CIC or any kind of work, you should pay yourself. So let's say for 6 days, I will pay myself, instead of 300, I will pay myself like £200 a month. That will make it 3,900, not 5,000, 3,900. Does that make sense? So you are able to decide how much you're going to pay yourself in order to determine how much you need for the first project, for the first year, let's say, or 6 months on the first project. And just to say something before I go to the next slide or to start share my screen again, this stuff can be different in some places, which means if you want to buy a laptop, you can put it as one-time cost. However, if you noticed in here, I put the email service as one-time cost. I choose to do so because I pay it as 1 year package. That's why I put it in here. If you are paying monthly, you can move it from one-time cost to the recurring cost. It will be the same. I'm just showing you how much it can be flexible on the work. So, Oksana, I see your hand up.
Oh yeah. Just a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why is your salary such a low figure? 300 is nothing.
I started like that. That's why that's what I'm saying. I started like that because I'm not just because to go up, to grow a little bit by a little bit. It started as like that. It might go up as, let's say, like for 6 days, it can go like, let's say, for 900. So I started as minimum as I can to know how the business will work. And then I raise it a bit by bit. And that's how I put it. It's not need to be the same. I'm just saying how I put, especially at the early stages of the work, I start as a smaller salary and goes up time by time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
All
Thank
right,
you.
can I just add one thing?
Yes, please. I'm
Just
going
a
to share
few,
my
there's a
other
couple
screen.
comments in the chat when it comes to this. You know, sadly, the reality is with social startups that are relying on grants and, you know, the early stages, as Fuad was just saying, sometimes your time will have to be voluntary to be able to have the desired impact that you want. Now, of course, I wish that wasn't the case, but having to get the right grant for a project and having to find the right amounts of funds to be able to pay yourself a full salary, it will take time. So I know with Fuad, for instance, as you were just saying, like in the last 12 months, that figure from 300 has probably shifted. Because there's been more work, there's been more opportunities. And I'd say that a lot of social startup founders would say the same thing, that at the beginning, when you're focusing on impact, there may be a lot of your work which ends up being voluntary, but that doesn't mean it stays like that forever. And so you kind of want to work towards being able to give yourself your desired salary. Of course, there may be a situation where you can do that straight away, which is the ideal. But don't be disheartened by that. And that's why the financial forecasting and looking forward is so important, because you want to be able to work towards that. You want to be able to put it into different grant applications. And it's sadly the reality of the sector. I mean, some grant applications will even say you cannot use this money to pay yourself a salary. So that is also just sometimes the sad reality of the third sector. That grants are very locked towards project budgets and impact as well. Fuad, I just wanted to ask you one. Actually, I'll ask you later before we break up.
No worries. Thank you, guys. And I forgot to mention something I just want to add on as well. on my case, when I did my personal expenses, I just needed 300 at the beginning. That's another thing, because I need to fulfill my necessity budget. And then I went up. I will go for the thanks for the question, Oksana, and thanks for everyone. Sorry, I'm not able to read the comments. Thank you, Lucas, for taking that. So if you can, sorry. You know, you need actually accounting great clarity and safety. Why it's really important? Because you actually need to have a really good accounting from the early stages, because tracking all your expenses, like you need to track your all expenses. You need to see how much you are spending at the beginning. You need to keep receipts. Please keep receipts. And it's very highly recommended for you to get a professional accountant. Really, 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 really important. And yes, actually, accountants don't bite, and they will help you in the work. And if it's all right with you, before to go to the other one, Lucas, can you share, if it's all right with you, the story of your friend who didn't bring an accountant?
Yeah, please use an accountant. We get this a lot. A lot of people will come 1 week before the accounting deadline, and they'll not have an accountant, and then an accountant can charge them whatever they like. Accountants do cost money, but they are much cheaper than making a mistake. So I have a very close friend of mine who I grew up with, and he is a filmmaker. If he ever sees this video, I'm sorry, but I won't name him. And he thought he'd be clever, and he would just do his finances by himself. And he got it completely wrong, and he ended up getting a fine that was 3 times bigger than hiring an accountant would have been. So, he could have just hired an accountant and paid a little bit of cash, a couple £100, £300 to £500, depending on how much. You're filing at the early stage. I really would be surprised if it's much more than £300. Yeah, and it will be cheaper than making the mistake and having to pay the fine. So I'd recommend getting an accountant.
Thank you, Lucas. And actually, accountants don't bite. So we are, as we mentioned before, there are currently 7 tabs. We talked about personal budget. We talked a bit about startup budget, and we are going to talk about accounting trackers, which is like number 6 in the tool. So this year, the financial tool introduced income and expenditure tracker. And that's like, you will find it really, really great to use. It's helped you working on the expenditure. And I'm going to share with you now how to use it. And let me show you quickly. I will change the screen. Here we go. Please nod, give me thumbs up if you can see the screen. Perfect. This one is already we worked on that. It's number 2, and we now are going to number 6 for now. And it's actually how you put in details. Can you see the left side of it, like the blue side? How you actually put in details what you actually spent in each point. And it's really, really, really important. Because last year they didn't introduce this tool, so I have to create my own Excel sheet, and I don't want to show it to you, but like, it's very, very messy, and like all stuff getting around. So this one is like really good, and I'm going to start using it. And so if you can see, there is like 2 examples in here. The first one, the second one. So you put whatever you expend day by day or month by month or week by week, you actually put how much you expend, how much you pay, and what's your income, expenses and income. As an example in here, I put on the 2nd of October, they will fill, like if you write to October 2024, they will fill the rest for you. And I write expenditure, I said like car insurance. If you are using the car for the businesses, again, consult with an accountant, how much you can put as part of this. And I said like car insurance, I paid £150. And on the 1st of November, I paid for photographer for £100. On the 1st of November, I get paid, which I put it as an income for a training as an £800. And I put it in there. And funny enough, on the number 4, I forgot, I didn't even mention it on the first time. I put it as like one-time cost, which is Grammarly. Do you know this application is like just to help you to get your grammar and English right? So I paid for it, but I didn't put it on my cost. So that's why I record it, because I need to make sure that I put it as expenses, especially when I'm doing the taxes. So you put down everything, and I put like another income as payment for the refugee council work I'm doing. So you actually put everything in here, and you can see at the top, this is just a glimpse. I didn't write everything because I have almost, just for fuel, I have like, I think 20 receipts just for this fuel. So I didn't put everything. So you can see the total income date are 2,300, total expenditure at like 3,700, and the balance now is like this. So it will help you keep a track of your expenses. Does that make sense? Is it clear? Perfect. So I'm going to share with you again the main slides, and we want you to, like, we don't help you. It's really important in here to create a folder in your Google Drive to put the receipts. And correct me, Lucas, if I'm wrong, but you have to keep your receipts up to 10 years. Is that right?
Yeah, you need your receipts for your accounting, and it's also if you ever get audited, probably more likely if you're much bigger or if you are a charity. But if you ever get audited, you need to be able to show your receipts, what you've been spending, and how much. Very, very important.
Yeah.
That's why people have things called petty cash. But that's like for very small little things that they spend, like maybe like a cup of tea or something, but you still need the receipts.
Thank you, Lucas. So you will go into your Google Drive under your financial tool. You press the right button. You can see in here like a new folder. Name it as receipts. And then you will have it and start to upload your receipts. You need to have a digital copy of them. This is the copy they might ask for, and you have to keep it for a long time. I showed you that before a little bit, so but like I think it's all right. I already showed you like the expenses tracking. And now you will have, is it 45 or 40?
It's going to be 30.
30. So you have now 30 minutes, guys, to start to draft your startup budget and for your organization in your financial plan. Write any expenses that you may have and make a folder in your Google Drive, finance, titled receipts.
Just before we break out, it's just any receipt. So, Natalia, so if you buy something and it comes with like an invoice from Amazon or from the shop, or you pay to register and you get an email receipt, you can just screenshot that and save it in there. So it's just any receipt. It's just proof of purchase, basically.
and it should be like digital, not should be if I receive printed.
What I would do is, because you'll lose the paper ones, I'd take a picture of it and then
Yeah.
upload that basically.
Okay.
Just before we break out, and I'm aware of time, so we will break out, but I just wanted to ask you, Fuad, like, is there anything, when you did your startup budget, did you cut back a lot of costs?
But sorry?
Cut back a lot of costs? Were you like, actually, I can't really afford that, or actually, let me not get that right now, or maybe I can use this laptop or something like that. I'm just interested.
Yes, I did. So I didn't buy a different laptop for the business. I can use my personal for now. I just like have two accounts for them. I didn't I didn't even buy another line to have like, because I'm like calling people or doing the work. And I have to I use some of the existing stuff I already have, and even for the projector, I need that projector, but I didn't pay for one because most of the spaces I go to, they have a projector. So I asked them. So before I buy one, I asked them because it needs to be as less expenses as I can, just in order to make sure that I got a right amount of, let's say, profit or the right amount of pricing. I hope that was helpful.
No, definitely. I think that's really good advice. Try to cut back where you can. Okay, we're going to go back out for half an hour. Please click join.
So today we have done your personal budget, your startup budget, and you learn about your accounting tracker. At least you have started. So next time we have a choice to look at like pricing, sales forecast, cash. We will talk about that in a minute, or our new grant and project budget, and we are going to talk about that in a minute. As I said, we work on the personal necessity, startup project, like 1, 2, and 6. We are going to either talk about like pricing and costing, sales forecast, cash flow, and loan ask, or like our new grants and project budget. That will be for future or for the next session. I'm going to talk about for this one, the financial planning workshop 2. Depending on your business model, you will choose which area of financial planning to focus on. You might choose just grant projects, budgets, or sales and pricing and forecasting, or maybe both. And Lucas, I think Lucas will be in touch with you about this, and we will focus, and that's what we'll be focusing on the financial planning too. It depends on your business model. Are you selling a service or a product, or you are just delivering a free service? It depends on your business model. Confused? Need any help? Need any support? You have any questions? You have Lucas and Business Holo to help you. You can just scan the QR code with your phone to book a session with them. And here we go. I think I will pass this.
If you're happy to keep screen sharing.
Yeah, I will keep that.
Guys, Ali, you had a question. I saw your hand up.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that.
That's okay.
Yeah, just my fine. There is when Fuad share his screen, there is a video explain. I don't have this option here in my financial and accounting.
If you go to the first tab in it,
I think it's called guide.
In the guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, one sec. Yeah, I don't have the yeah guide, but there is no
Oh, I
there is no
see. Yeah. I
yeah.
will update that. That's probably
Okay.
yeah, I'll update that. That's probably a newer addition to the one that Fuad's got. I'll update it. I think it's the same for everyone.
Okay,
So yeah, I will do that tomorrow. Thank you, Ali, for flagging that, because that should be in there. We're giving you a break from financial planning because I know it's a bit painful and hard, but really important. I wanted to actually just see if Zainab, did you, not to put you on the spot, but any top tips around financial planning or your thoughts on everything?
I absolutely hated completing this tool at the beginning. I ignored it for at least the first month, but had to go back in because of the business model or the social enterprise model that we were working on. And today it's part of my thinking process. So when I see grants or projects that we want to run, it's the first thing that I think of, and I use the necessity, I guess, budget, actually translate that into when we come to do project costing, and it makes you think about all sorts of things. So I think what I'm trying to say is my top tip is don't be afraid of it, embrace it, because it'll save you a lot of hassle in the long run.
Thanks, Zainab. Aruba, anything to share from your experience?
I second Zainab. I was actually sharing this in the group as well. I absolutely hated it. Also, I'm not a financial person, so I was just like, why numbers? I like math, but I'm not a financial person. It took me time to come to terms with understanding what the whole sheet is and how to use it for myself. And now it's just like every day I'm just going through it to find out what more can be done. But yeah.
Thanks, Aruba. And I think what's really exciting is Bija Saholo, who's on the call, is making an amazing tool around project budgets. And so some of you will have, as Fuad was saying, a business model which is around project budgets and looking for grants and making a budget based on a grant you're applying for. And other people will have things you're selling. And so you'll be able to put a budget in to then work out how much to sell. But there's also pricing tabs and things, and I'll send this all to you nicely packaged up in an email, so you'll be able to watch that in your own time. But we are giving you a break from financial planning. So because of Ramadan, and I know some of the cohort will be observing Ramadan, iftar would happen in the middle of our workshop. So we thought, let's not have any workshops during Ramadan, and instead can book one-to-ones at a time that works for you, and we can be flexible with that timing. So as a result, we have pulled forward financial planning to be 2 days before the start of Ramadan, which is the 26th of February, but we thought we'd give you a break. So we're going to do networks and partners first. This is an awesome workshop, and I think the proverb really does sum it up, which is what Ehsan just said. You know, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And it's really true. As a social startup, a lot of people were saying, oh, do you not pay yourself at the beginning? Maybe not, but that might also mean you can't pay for rent right at the beginning, or you can't pay for equipment. But there might be someone out there who can give it to you for free, or there might be an organization who might be able to work with you at that early stage to give you a chance so that you can show what you can do as an organization. Partnerships are so important. This program is run in partnership. Thank you, Fuad. This is the day that I'm back at work because I'm going away next week. I'm on holiday from Saturday to Sunday. I'm back on the 17th, but it's not. It's a typo. It's Wednesday the 19th. Thank you, Fuad. So Wednesday the 19th is this workshop coming up with Valerie, another Ideas into Action alumni who you will meet, who will be delivering this as well. Next slide, please. But what's really exciting, some of you would have got a message from me about this, but we are having an in-person training all day with the guys from Results CIC. Hormoz and Safe are coming down from Manchester to deliver this, but this is going to be at the Turn office in London. Please get in touch with your bosses and let them know that you need Wednesday the 10th of April, which also happens to be my mum's birthday, from 10 to 4 is going to be an all-day training, okay? At the Turn office, in person. If you are coming from outside of London, we will be able to reimburse your travel, and we will be able to pay for accommodation if you are coming from far. The training is all about sustaining your growth. So what happens after this program and looking beyond, but also about telling your own story in relation to the social startup for when you're pitching. And that sort of using that as a positive in your organizational journey. We'll come out with more details in the coming weeks. But the training is a great chance for all of us to come together. It's Wednesday, the 10th of April. If you are outside the UK, I'm sorry, we can't pay for travel to the UK, but we can if you're outside of London. The closest tube is Old Street and the overground is Hoxton. We will give you loads more information about this, but really important, mark this date for your diary right now, because we're going to be in touch about this, okay? And it's going to be happening. Oh my goodness, I've done it again. It's Thursday the 10th. Thank you, Fuad. It's been a long week. Thursday the 10th of April. Thursday the 10th of April, not Wednesday. It's because our workshops are usually on a Wednesday. Unbelievable. You've done it twice and we're recording. Thursday the 10th of April. I'm going to re-record this section tomorrow and send this out. Thursday the 10th of April is when it is, not Wednesday, Thursday the 10th. So we will pay for accommodation if you're coming from far, travel if you're coming from far as well. It's going to be great. Our in-person workshops are brilliant. They're really good fun. It's a great chance for us to come together, and it's a training. It's fun. It's interactive. Lots of learning. It's not just talking, I promise. Next slide, Fuad. Let's see if I got any dates wrong again. Oh, there's no dates on this slide. That's good. This is, as promised, the brand booster. So you can scan this QR code and have a little look at it, but I'm also going to be sending you an email about the brand booster. Now, some of you have said, I don't need a brand. That's absolutely fine. You don't have to do it. This is optional, but it's a great exercise. We are using technology this year to get some intro brands. But there's also an option if you want and you have some budget to work with a designer who can do that. But this is self-led learning. We don't have a workshop on it. I have cut up a load of videos. We have an alumni from Turn, someone called Anil, who's the founder of Hattopia, and he will take you through the journey of starting, getting a great brand, basically. Okay, so there's something called the Brand Booster Brief, which I will share with you tomorrow in an email. And you follow this learning at your own pace. And when you are done, you tell myself or you tell Bija Saholo. And then we will work with you to get this brand up to speed. Okay. And we've got some really cool tools and tricks to get an entry-level brand, which will probably be something which you love, but may not be something you use forever. Maybe it is, but it may give you a great starting point going forward to then work with designers in the future when your social startup is a little bit more established. But having a good brand is really important. And this is really exciting for us because this is a brand new process. We have got brands for people before, but this process is brand new. So we're going to learn a lot through this process as well, and we're excited about it. But it starts with you, and it's self-led learning. Hopefully you'll see that pop up, that screen. I've cut up a load of videos there for you, so you should just easily see that, and we'll share the briefs with you. They're all on a software called Canva, which this presentation is made on. So there we go. We use Canva too. Finally, somebody can say how amazing Fuad was. Thank you so much, Fuad. Absolutely brilliant presentation. And we look forward to seeing you in 3 weeks on Wednesday, the 19th of February, for workshop number 2 in financial planning. But please give us some feedback. Tell me that I've taken 10 minutes of your time on a Wednesday evening, and also that I got all the dates wrong and I'm just confusing everybody. You can say that there if you want to. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, please do give us some feedback. It's how we learn, it's how we grow. And we'd be very, very grateful for that. But yes, thank you, Fuad. You can stop sharing screen now. Some important announcements. We will send all of this information in an email. So keep an eye out for the email with dates, correct dates, I promise. Just to say, I am on holiday from Saturday the 8th until Sunday the 16th. So I'm away next week. But Bija Saholo is around and he will be able to answer any questions you have in the chat. But if you don't hear from me, it's because I'm away. I'm not ignoring you. Thank Thank you so much, Fuad. Again, excellent presentation. You managed to make financial planning interesting. Very grateful for that. And we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Thank you to our wonderful facilitators, Diana, Aruba, Zainab, Bijasaholo, and thank you to you guys for staying and showing up. And we had an 88% attendance in February. Can you believe it? So thank you, everybody, and have a lovely evening. And we will be in touch soon, and we'll see you very soon. Good night.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.